I'm transitioning. We should be live. We're live now.
Really gonna hate my guts.
So guys, we're on the Geek Room. We're live watching this idiotic stuff. Drag just got done talking with G-Man a few minutes ago. Most likely everyone knows that already. You should be able to hear it in the live feed.
You know what cracks me up about this though is this.
Okay, so they only can hear me. Got it.
I make videos on this channel all the time claiming that atheists are liars.
Oh, never mind.
and
They can hear
that
him.
they're scammers. And then you know what happens? I go to
Can't
a
one of you
room,
guys talk so I can make sure they
and
can
what
hear you
they
guys?
do? Do they tell the truth? No. Do they show you any evidence for anything? No. Whether they do.
Wait, say it again. Okay, so they can't hear you. Give me a second.
You understand what I'm saying? If you're an atheist and you saw that and you was on the
Yo.
fence, my suggestion to you is
Yep.
to get away from these immoral people. These people hate humanity. They hate Christians.
All right.
They hate you. The only reason they're being friends with you because you have a common agreement that you pretend that there is no God. I don't know. I can't prove it, but I really believe that somebody in the atheist
Yep.
community was affected by that show, and they're going to leave atheism. And I'm talking about something serious. I'm not talking about somebody that wants to go to a room and be a troll or whatever. You know what Drag said that was really interesting about this? He said that he didn't care. Drag said he did not if somebody left atheism. First of all, that makes me feel very good inside, very warm inside.
I guess he's going to pick the one where he dies.
We can only hope.
Atheist.
No,
Oh,
just
geez.
thinking he choose poorly.
That's
It's like the was it Indiana Jones? Like you
Yes.
chose
He
poorly.
choose poorly, and he becomes a really old man. Oh, he already is.
He really is doing fucking MTV Cribs. Like, okay, nobody's in that room. I'm allowed into
How
it.
many
Okay.
doors? We've got 1, 2. Count the doors. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, he's going through 1. Oh, ceiling.
I wonder if we go into the side chat if we can encourage G-Man to show us what's in the fridge. Then we'll have a Cribs episode.
Oh no, but he's being very clear that he's not going to show windows or any way to see
Oh, yeah.
where he is.
Clever. He's clever.
He made a video about that pumpkin. He learned and he tapped his head. He's not filming outside no more.
Modern problems require basic common sense, you fucking moron.
Yeah, G-Man, there's these
Shani
things
and
called
Rev did
drapes.
that. Shani and Rev made a comment about that where they weren't going to film towards their window. They actually made a point of saying
Well,
it.
yeah, because, you know...
But
that's
don't they
because they're
also do
Colorado
live streams from their car where their sat nav is saying street
Oh, wow.
names?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
They're
but they
calling
don't.
out license plates.
But they're not pointing the camera out the window.
A lot of
No,
doors.
we wonder why he can't have a fucking education.
I've given literally zero thought to him and whether or not he'll stop believing in Jesus.
Yeah. I'm of the opinion, like, people can make their own choices, but I'm gonna take the piss out of him for being thick as fuck.
So, Drag, how exactly did you bribe a cop?
Oh, Jesus.
I sent my cousin $100 for his legal consultation on his
You
live
know-
legal consultation.
Really?
You know, the only people who have to say that their life is so awesome are the people whose lives aren't awesome.
Yeah. Yes, to convince everybody.
Also,
I haven't heard that shit in years.
anyone who thinks that pizza is a sufficient bribe for a police officer,
I do think, to his credit, it was Drag saying that he had sent $100 to his cousin, and that we couldn't read the text below it.
Yeah, I didn't know if y'all could actually see it.
Yeah, it was the glare on the screen really fucked it.
Okay, yeah,
Who's
that's
got a teddy bear?
that for legal consultation. That's what it said.
Wait. Why is he playing with a bear? Like he didn't. Like I think he's in just a house that he's renovating.
No,
Somebody
he's
paying him on the
probably at a
table.
relative's house, and this is probably one of the relatives' like bedrooms.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He's definitely going
This-
around on his. Okay, now he's right next to the window. He said he wouldn't film next to, but he did
Yeah, but
say
it's washed out.
he keeps going around on like knocking doors before he goes in them. He's making sure no one's home.
He's living his.
Well, the
best
reason why is
life.
because this isn't his house. He broke into a house so that way he doesn't get caught out in
okay,
the street.
frustrated. Do you know that for sure?
Oh, my bad.
Or
my
you- or
bad.
you just making
this
shit
is
up.
speculation. This is
Well,
speculation.
don't speculate on him breaking into a house. Come on.
Yeah, like we all know the real reason is he's an attic goblin and he's managed to scurry his way down the steps into the main house.
So
One of his relatives has got a new house, or has recently renovated their house, and they're letting him live there for a short time, maybe 2 or 3 months, I reckon. That house is brand spankingly newly painted.
Oh, the
And-
minute that I guarantee they do not know that he's making this video.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's probably why he knocks on the doors because he's filming with them around.
I mean, like it just seems like he's that stray cat that you let live in the house until you come back, and then it smells like cat piss or dirty penis. One or the other.
See, those are the stairs that go up to G-Man's room.
Oh man, there's G-Cat.
Now, let's see if we can find Betty.
This is.
What is wrong with him?
Is it bad that his own chat is like, "Hey, are you okay?"
Oh wow,
Is that?
Is that
It's
Betty?
G-Cat.
Is
No,
that
no,
Betty?
No, I'm looking at. I think I'm behind. Actually, it looks like it's got a mezuzah on the door rather than a. Is it a hinge? Oh, there's Rebecca.
yeah.
Was that? Did we have a Betty spotting?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
you
that
are
was Betty?
incredibly mad.
No, but did we find Betty? I can't remember. Betty was a black and white cat or a brown cat.
I don't think that's Betty.
You don't think that's Betty?
No, he just.
No.
Because when he had Betty, he said he got rid of Betty when he went to Pennsylvania. We haven't seen Betty since then.
Holy
He
shit!
may have given
I'm-
it to relatives, and that's where he is now.
Sorry, I'm just looking at his chat and his own
Wait.
mods. G-Man, you make me feel sad.
G-Man, what did I say I was doing, bro? What did you say you was gonna do with your super chats? And I don't think police officers are supposed to do that. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure the police officers are not supposed to do that. I'm definitely gonna call the station in a minute and find out whether or not a police officer can do that. $35.05, Kelvin Webster, huh? All right, we'll see. Anyway, guys, you guys have a good day. Dragnet, the next time.
Kick me out.
Oh, I just got a great idea. So next Wednesday, I'm going to go up there when they order the pizza and then shoot a little video with them, everybody waving.
Yeah, so I've said in the past, Drag, if ever we meet, I'm buying you a beer. Now I'm buying one for your cousin as well.
Yeah, man, let me know.
Make sure you put a sign and have somebody holding up a sign saying "Thanks, G-Man."
Man, that.
So much butt hurt. So much.
Of course he's butthurt.
We don't want to watch. We don't want to watch this.
What the fuck is this video?
IPX,
We went-
yeah, come on.
We didn't want.
I
to
was
watch
on Frank's
Minecraft.
account, so
You
that's
didn't
what that
wanna
was.
Watch it.
Oh man.
Ted,
There
we
was
know that you watch nothing but Minecraft.
Wait, he left? He turned
Yeah.
it off? Damn.
Yeah, he was done. He's
Well, G-Man ended the stream, so.
G-Man wanted to let everyone know how mad he wasn't
How to fix the problem.
by posting a video that shows how mad he was, but he actually wasn't.
To the point
He
where
was
his
acting like
own
Money
chat
Mike in there.
moderators were saying they
Sure, I
feel
got it.
sad for him.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Oh man, it's funny.
Who said that they were sad for him though? Who was the mod?
I forgot.
Oh,
I forgot his name.
David Weiser.
Was it? Oh, okay.
I mean, you know what? I get it. Because it's you want better. If you want better for him, and you think he's better than that, then you can feel sorry for him. But I know that he's not better than that.
He's
Like,
not.
Oh,
That's the
Jesus,
thing.
he
He's
is.
not. And everybody, every time I haven't engaged with him for a long time, and I want him to do better because, and I want him to hear, and I want people to make a dent in his head. But it doesn't
The
work.
thing is there are so
please?
many people. There's so many people.
Don't mean
who
make a dent in his
dent.
head like his head. That's not a threat. Sorry.
There's
wanna
so
make an
many
impression
people who
upon
have
his mind.
stopped.
Intellectually.
There's so many people who have stopped interacting with him that he still brings up. It's so funny.
It's weird. David was trying to talk to him in the chat. He was the one that said he felt sad for him.
Jeez.
I'm just like, why won't he engage me? I'm small, I'm not threatening at all, and I'll probably give him a better shake. I'm just begging for him to engage me because I want to hurt his feelings. I really want to hurt his feelings.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Since I've come back on the scene, I so want to get into a stream with G-Man.
Yeah.
Well, your opportunity will be next week. Any one of y'all can act as my lawyer. There you go.
Oh, I thought he said he was going to show up Wednesday.
Whenever is it Tuesday? I can't remember. I think he staged the video.
Well, going to trial.
The pre-trial, the second pre-trial.
I know I got a little bit under the skin when I got in the other day. I was like, hey, G-Man. He's like, do you know what's wrong with T. Gary Kirk? I said, he's bisexual like you. And he paused for a minute. Oh, I was like, wait, what? He is? Like, yeah, he admits the shit. He's like, oh, so he said he's gay. I was like, no, he's bisexual like you.
All right, so it's next Wednesday.
Yeah. Wait, next Wednesday. Huh. Hey,
Drag, I hope that you got a lot of lube for this intercourse that's going to happen.
Oh yeah, man. It's I got KY, I got the Bad Dragon, cum lube. I'm ready.
Good.
I only use warming touch.
You know, only spitting force is the best way to get the lube going.
No, I think he likes it without lube. I mean, that's just me, hypothetically speaking. You know, figuratively speaking. Figuratively.
To be perfectly honest, I just use warming touch.
Wait, but I don't get what was so wrong with the motherfucking the meme. I don't play that out of my mind.
You didn't see it? It said brown.
It said brown, so it was automatically racist, even though
Yeah.
that's meant for something else. But no, it's racist. Okay.
Yeah, it
was
said that he
the
didn't
meme?
get. It was sexist, but it wasn't racist. Let me find it.
Like if even if you wanted to go the whole you bullying the homosexual thing, that's another thing. Why are you talking about anal sex? Like the fuck? Like really?
All right, it says, you see, son, grilling a good steak is a lot like your mom. Once it starts bleeding, it's time to flip her over to the brown side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a anal sex comment.
That's a
That's a fucking good joke right there.
It is. It's kind of funny.
But he thought it was racist because he doesn't get like what that means.
Well, that's.
I don't think
'cause
he's
I'm
ever
pretty
cooked a
he's
steak.
never put his dick in someone.
Or at least for a regular basis,
The way he right, I've seen it more lately, but the way he goes on, I genuinely think he's still holding his V card.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Doc Savage is saying, you notice how he goes into LGBT defense mode, right? When you bring up shit like that, it's really interesting that's a
I wonder
defense.
if he'll let me in again.
Yeah, he's gonna have to because I've already said that I'm not playing his, hiding game every time someone gets a point. So he had fun with that last week, but that's the end of that.
I think what his thing is he is one of those before it became popular motherfucking incels. Like I really think that G-Man was a fucking incel before it became popular. How you gonna be a 45-year-old incel? Because he says the same shit that these motherfuckers say.
Yeah, all atheist women are whores. He worshipped Shani for some fucking reason.
Like, it's not even that she's big. It's that
Dude, I have water. Please don't.
She is like her personality makes me sick.
Yeah.
Like, why would somebody want that? God,
because it's the closest he's ever gotten to having it in the first place.
I'm talking about what the fuck is wrong with Rev?
Oh, he's waterlogged brain and desperation.
That wet brain must have fucked him up.
That's what
Rev is one of the guys that sat there and was probably the same as that. Shani, he probably hadn't had sex, and then he came across Shani, who gave it to him willingly, and he was like, oh my god, I'm just so much in love with this woman. So he's over here, and that's why he sticks around, even though she says certain things that are like, really, your husband's right there. And then she, like, as an afterthought, after he says something, she's like, oh, no, but you're the exception. Yeah,
like, I'm done with men. All men are bastards. I prefer women. Well, except for your husband, right? Oh, yeah, well, I like your spirit.
And don't worry, baby, you got floppage.
At least he never has to go... At least Rev never has to go cold. Like, I know he's really, really skinny and frail, so at least he can, like, nuzzle under some of the folds on a cold night.
You don't know what type of junk is in there. Why would you say that?
Because I'm a bastard.
Look, we already know that he does go under there because he talks. Look, we already know that he does go underneath there because he knows how musky it is.
I don't. You know, at least one of those foods has a fucking sealed bag with a sandwich for emergencies.
You know what? I literally saw my 600-pound life about a woman that was on there, and literally to wash his wife, dude broke out a garden hose.
I think I've seen that as well.
I remember that one. I didn't actually see the show because I couldn't stomach it.
It's a popular clip on the internet. Like, he literally breaks out a garden hose and washes her down like a fucking cow. And, like, she has a fucking bad attitude about shit. Like,
there's even more popular clip where this guy, he's a big guy, and he's got a wife that's also big, and she's on the show, and they got to read out how much she weighs, and he's just like, damn.
Like, how do you get that bad? Like, I get it. I sit down on the desk all day. I need to work on my conditioning, but at some point, I'm like, I want to be able to breathe.
There's straight up a point where the amount of calories you need to be ingesting to maintain that size is ridiculous. I remember there was an old, I think it was like a Djibouti Dubs video, where he's going over like one of these My 600-Pound Life, something like that, and it's a family of really fucking big people, and they go and they get like 12 pizzas, and they drive back, and when they get out of the car, there's only 8 pizzas left.
Jesus.
No.
And it's just like, did you eat them in the car or forget? No, you didn't forget the food. You fucking ate those. You went on the food run so you could get first dibs. It is. I'm not joking. If I find the video, I'll dump it somewhere. But
well, so there is. Whenever you said how people can get that big, there is with a lot of these people, there's a psychological problem there because a lot of times what it is something traumatic happened there in their life, and their only coping mechanism was food, and so they just kept eating every time these triggers occurred within them that they just kept eating, and like you said, over time you get to a point where you have to then maintain that the calorie intake, because your body then starts to get to the point where it starts feel hungry more, so you start eating more, and then it just keeps going on because you've already ingested that much calories over time. But so there is a psychological disorder with it. That's why when you actually watch, if you actually watch the episodes, a lot of the times something happened to these people that was very traumatic to them, and then what ends up happening is they seek so I can't even think of the word right now, but they
try to
seek
find comfort.
Yeah, they seek comfort in eating food, and so then it just becomes their normal coping mechanism, and so that's how they get that big.
It is one of those things where it's like whatever, like it's an addiction, and it's one of those things where it's an addiction. Yeah, it sucks. There are like ways you can get help for it. So it's one of those things where I'll have sympathy for someone if they're in that situation. But if they're in that situation and like Shani, they're a fucking horrible person and they don't care and they're super defensive about it, and it's not even the defensive, it's the idea that she thinks that she is sex on legs. No.
But a lot of these motherfuckers, especially ones that are brought to the forefront, have these shitty ass attitudes. And that's what I don't get. Like, you're depending on other people to fucking help you out. Have some fucking humility. Now, there have been some times where I've seen people that's just like, hey, I'm dealing with something and I don't know how to deal with it. But a lot of these motherfuckers, like, I remember the dude way back when, Jerry Springer. He used to treat his mother like shit. And they had to literally take out part of the house to get him out. And he ended up dying from the shit. It's like, come on. Like, I'm not
Everyone's been in a shitty situation that makes them bitter, but whenever you're being bitter and pissy to the people trying to help you, you lose a lot of the sympathy.
Oh, yeah.
But no,
I definitely would agree.
Which kind of goes a bit for Gman as well. He's in a shitty situation. He ends up begging for help. Help gets offered, and he'll either take it and then lie about, no, I never got that help, or he'll refuse it because there's a condition to be met, or like the one about him being out on the street by his fucking queen Shani. And was it Doc offered him a motel and like basically free bed and board, and the only condition was, I won't give you cash, but I'll pay for all this, like it will all be sorted for you. And his response was, no, I want cash. That's not how charity isn't always, or the easiest way to put it is beggars can't be choosers. And at that point he was in a situation where he was begging and then got real fucking picky.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm one of those advocates where a lot of problems I say, hey, give cash. But to motherfuckers who can't be trusted like that, no, fuck you. We about to give you the shit. Like, G-Man is an advocate for motherfucking public housing if there is not one.
I'm actually technically still.
We gonna sit you in your nice little house, give you access to the internet. Just don't come outside. Sit the fuck in your room. Look, we're even gonna give you up-to-date video games. Ooh. Here, we can do this. We can teach you how to make a game like as stupid as you want to be. It's like, put this piece right there, and you can make all the Jesus video games that you want. And we're not gonna question how you would also have homosexual thought video games as well. But still, sit down in front of a TV screen, in front of anything, and leave society the fuck alone.
He's the poster child of just menial labor has a purpose. Because when he's stacking barrels and he's got his gay thoughts and he's you know, plotting his revenge against the universe, not hurting anyone. Whenever he's like out in the street and harassing people that are, you know, like the Black Hebrew Israelites, whenever he's, you know, shouting shit 24/7 at people, threatening people, doxing, harassing, grieving people. Yeah, just fucking. I don't know.
One question.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just frustrated as fuck at him.
One question that I didn't like, did we all think that did he really think we were all as stupid as he was? Drag, put your address in the side chat. Like, wait, like.
Cause that was like, are you seriously asking him to dox himself so that way?
Okay, Drag, I
people
have to
know.
ask, why did you not say something like, was it 1050 Wrigley Field? Like, it's just throwing a Blues Brother reference or something in there.
Nah, it's like I've noticed that
probably would have been.
when I offer shit like that, it goes over his head. Like I try to throw in little bits and pieces for things like for people to catch it, like hentai stuff, and I threw in a few porn star references the other day, but it's almost wasted.
You got the dude to admit he wants bukkake, and very nearly he said that he wanted your cream
I
pie.
can't take credit. That was Tatted and that was Odd Talk. They got him to admit that.
Okay, yeah, that
That's
was
beautiful.
that was fucking fantastic, but it was.
I
so
actually
good.
have not seen it, but after I get off this, I'll have to watch that.
I what
Yeah,
was
it's
it?
on the Geek Room.
Yeah, 2-3 days ago, I just sat down and had it in the background while I was doing other stuff.
Yeah,
I had to stop. Like, I was cleaning shit, I had to stop, sit down, because I was laughing so fucking hard. That is the
But
essence
Tatted,
of what the internet was made for.
But Ted, I had just recently got back into the swing of being back online. I literally have been like away from everything due to work and all sorts of other shit. So I just recently got back online, and I reckon I've realized that I've missed out on a lot of shit. And some of it I was thankful that I missed out on because it was like drama, and I was like, no, thank you. I'll be over here. Thank you. But then there's this type of stuff that I've seen that I missed out on, and I'm like, oh no, I want to watch that. So I have to go back and watch the things I've missed.
Yeah, I've said it many times, I drift in and out of the community, and the one constant is G-Man stupid. Every time I come back, a new saga begins.
Oh,
Or
the
is
thing
just getting into its stride.
The thing is that's like it doesn't matter what day it is. It doesn't matter what time it is. G-Man stupid is always going to be a constant.
I actually here's a good one. I described G-Man to a friend of mine, and the guy he's Irish, so he's a fucking heavy drinker. But he used to say that, you know, when he was bad, it would be day ending in Y celebration. And I said, why don't you try G-Man a stupid celebrations? And he goes, no, I'd be dead in a week.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. He'd probably be dead within a week. Dude has mastered stupidity, to be perfectly honest.
And I was like, and I've shown them like, hey, this is this idiot G-Man. And they look at him like, this is why some black people don't need the internet. They make it bad for all the rest of us.
That sounds fucked up.
I'm like, yo, no, it's funny. It's like, and then they look at him and they just like, take his fucking mic, take his fucking camera, sit his ass in a corner somewhere. Somebody need to beat their ass beat because they didn't beat his ass enough.
I have a solution.
Yeah.
No. That's a good one, but I have a better solution that I think is you know what you were saying earlier about, like, you know, put him in a room, you know, never go outside, we'll give you all this shit. Create a program that just auto-generates a chat and let him, like, make live streams just to himself. And then all you need to do is like have another program that cuts bits up and posts it back to him as like, haha, G-Man dumb. And he can have these long fucking drama sessions with himself. And the rest of the world doesn't even know what's happening.
That's a joke, but that's a real thing. He would do that.
It's one of those things that I thought of it was like, that's too stupid. Wait a minute, G-Man, no, it would actually pan out that way.
Put him in front of the programs like this is not a real person or this is not art, and just let them have fun, huh? Like, oh, G-Man, like G-Man, here, this is art. Critique it and tell me what you think about the artist, and just let him go.
Yeah, G-Man would fail the Turing test. That was. I came back at a fucking good time for all this bullshit.
I have this general theory that I think some people are like, I don't know, like more self-aware than others. I think some people, like when it comes to free will, that I think that some people have more free will than other people do. And I think G-Man he's just all instinct. There's no thought.
You know what? I will say this. I'm a proponent that like you can pretty much learn anything, and G-Man tests the limits of that belief. But I really think he really is. How do I put it? It was this show called like Korra the Legend of Korra. It's a saying where his instinct is the fearful body hoping to be wrong. I literally believe that G-Man knows he's a horrible person and is trying to do shit to say, I need to feel better. So he's literally using Christianity as a tool to say, I know I'm shitty, but I have to be right, because if I'm faced with looking at who the fuck I really am, he would have, tried to start a shotgun.
And yet the worst part of that is that he's trying to make himself feel better, and the best thing he can come up with is being a shit person. His idea of a good person is saying, I'm a Christian and I'm going to like drag all of these people through the mud and just make them feel awful because I'm a good person, and that's what good people do.
Real quick, so someone has sent the unlisted link of the live he just did, because he's probably going to take that down.
Oh, that's good. And somebody recorded it?
Yeah, they got it. I got the link. Yep.
Awesome.
But for someone that keeps saying once it's on the internet, it's always there, he seems to be like willfully ignorant when it applies to him.
It's amazing, isn't it? He likes to take down a whole lot of stuff that he does and then remind people that the internet doesn't forget.
Oh, he tries to pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah. If he was to be smart enough to think for 5 seconds, like before he hits live, just 5 seconds and think, is this a smart thing to do? Is this a clever thing? Does this achieve anything? 90% of his content never would have been put out.
But that's what I'm saying. He can't think through it. He just can't.
It's just a stream of barely consciousness.
Yeah, the thing is with G-Man is that, how can I put this?
He's fucking
G-Man. Well, the thing is G-Man should know by now, with how long he's been on YouTube and how long he's dealt with Dragnot and everybody else he deals with, that there's going to be somebody that the very second he goes live is in the process of downloading that stream. That regardless of how many times he does a stream and then deletes it, somebody has already, not just a single person, but probably at least anywhere between 2 to 5 people have actually already have that downloaded and waiting for him to say that he didn't say something. Like that's how we have. That's
I stole $3,000.
Yes,
We
that's
have the
how we
evidence.
have these That's how we have these soundboards. We didn't just sit there and make them up. We had them because somebody downloaded the stream that you said that on, saved it, and then people cut out parts of it.
Hey,
Like,
I have an interesting idea. Maybe this is just me. Maybe it's just like I'm trying to come up with the most logical thing about it. You ever think he likes the humiliation? Not just the attention, but the humiliation as well.
secretly, yes,
would agree with you.
would. Secretly, yes, I think that out loud, he would vehemently go against that and say how he's not being humiliated because he's showing the evil atheist how wrong they are. But secretly, in the back of his mind, he's sitting there saying, I just got humiliated and I love it.
I'm a dirty
No,
boy. Ooh, yeah.
What's
I'm a
the old
dirty
joke
boy.
of I don't want to kink shame anyone except for people that are into humiliation, you dirty little perverts.
No, here's the thing. I don't think that G-Man's into being wrong. I think he's playing this long game. I've talked to people like this inside and out, and basically he's saying like one day I'll be vindicated. One day I'll be right, and then I will laugh at you from the top of the mountain. Because watch how he gets Drag on like the tiniest thing. You lied, Drag. You're a liar.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter that I supported a pedophile. You're a liar.
The mountain he's shouting on is built on the shit that comes out of his mouth. And I don't think he's realized that, you know, it doesn't matter if the mountain you're standing on top of, like, it doesn't matter how tall it is if it's just made of your own bullshit.
But I think he can't see that, right? So what happens? He makes a claim, he repeats it 100 times, he believes it, and then he keeps building off of that. And that's, I mean, let's be honest, that's somewhat the origin of religion in some regard.
Just the fact that he keeps saying that all atheists are worse than Matt Bell.
Ugh.
Speaking
I'm
of
sorry,
Matt Bell,
I if given the chance to be in a room with Matt Bell and beat the crap out of that guy, I mean...
He's
beat
one
the
of those
shit out of that
people that
guy.
I think the
Garbage
perfect
human.
punishment for him would be 1 minute cameras off. And it would need to be 1 minute because anything longer and it won't be able to happen the next day as well. That man is scum.
Hold on. So I don't know if many of you played the newest God of War. When you meet Mimir, he's like, he tortures me, you know, every day. And there's no end to his creativity. Literally. That's somebody who would deserve being tortured every day, barely kept alive, and people find creative ways of torturing him.
Yeah, I think he deserves the Prometheus torture. Chained to a rock and having, was it like acid dripped on him? And
no,
that's the level of torture.
sorry, that's a different
Rip
one.
his guts out.
Yeah, he gets chained to the rock and every day his shit gets ripped out and then it regenerates and the next day it happens. It's the other guy that gets the venom dripped in his eye.
Yeah, Loki.
I was thinking of...
It's a thing in Greek mythology.
No.
Greek
It was
mythology as well.
Loki. No, it was Loki. What he did because Boulder died. Odin killed one of his sons, gutted him, and tied him with his entrails to a rock and put a snake over him and let the poison drip.
Yeah.
That was very creative.
Yeah. That's why I love Norse mythology. They're not good people. They're just people with shitloads of power.
Exactly.
Yeah, that
Was it Greek that the guy was in a vat of water and can't reach the apple?
Yeah,
And-
Tantalus.
Yeah.
He basically butchered his children, fed it to the guy. Was like, okay, fuck you. Let's go ahead and put you in water every time you try to reach for it. It dips down and the apple's always out of reach. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then there's rolling the boulder uphill, and every time you get near the top, you get old school myth is good shit. Not for the people involved. Thankfully, they don't exist, but you know, for the reader, cathartic.
I like that if you look at it, it's basically reality TV for ancient people.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a bunch of people banging each other.
Yeah, it really is like the whole shit with Hephaestus, Ares, and god damn it.
Hephaestus, Ares, and Aphrodite, and
That's Aphrodite.
that wasn't the only time in the myth that he did some shit like that. One time he locked his mother in a fucking golden throne because she made fun of his ass. It's like, apologize. No, you're ugly. Bitch, I said apologize. Happy Mother's Day.
Egyptian culture gets weirder too. What's his name? What's his name gets chopped up, and then he's missing his dick, so they give him a golden
Osiris.
dick. Osiris, yeah.
Yeah. So the story behind that goes is the fact that there was a battle between Osiris and Seth had been battling back and forth, and this is a uncle-nephew duo. And I mean, there's like so many different fucked up stories. Like, for instance, they're fighting over Egypt in general, and they're trying to figure out who's going to have the fruitful side of Egypt, north of the Nile, and the gods, the other gods, the higher deities had pretty much saying, y'all battle this out and we'll decide who wins. And in some of the stories, there's like one story where what happens is
Seth tries to rape Lord.
Well, Seth tries to go after Horus. That's his name, Horus, not Osiris. My bad. Or no.
No, it's Osiris.
Fuck it. Okay, Osiris. Yeah, he tries to dominate him, and what ends up happening is when he tries to go to ejaculate inside of him, Osiris grabs the semen and throws it into the sea. But what he does is he ejaculates and puts it into his food, and so when he eats it, the gods call after the semen. Seth's semen calls out from the river, while Osiris's calls from within his belly. But with that particular story about the cutting off his dick and stuff, is the fact that what he did was they decided to make a coffin, and it was supposed to be a beautiful coffin type of thing. And what Seth does is he tricks Osiris into getting into it, and then because you can't actually, at this point in time, you can't really kill a god, but you can in a sense. So what he ends up doing is he ends up getting him in there, fills it with I forget what he filled it with, throws it in the river, and does all this other shit to make it to where he can't. Eventually they, like you said, chops up his body. What?
Can I help you out with that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
What happened was Set had a magical coffin, and he's like, the god who lays in it gets double power. But it was only designed for Osiris. And Osiris lays in it because he was coordinated king. Now, keep in mind, Set was Ra's like second in command, like captain of his guard. Osiris was like one of his provincial rulers, and Ra was raping Isis because he was king. He's like, he's the king, and I don't care if you're married to this man. Fuck you. And that's the reason why the whole power struggle started. But he was like, Set was like, okay, I get your ass back. And he trapped Osiris in the fucking coffin, sealed it with lead, and threw it in the river. When Isis found it again, Set just blew the shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, another fun thing about Egyptian myth is something I find brilliant is in one story it's the mother, in another it's the wife. Egyptian mythology is the definition of the family bramble bush because the same people exist on many different parts.
Yes.
Well, I think this has to do with the fact that there are certain different legends that get told, and then others that get told, and then they kind of get mixed in together. I mean, hell, that's like the old gods of the old Jewish pantheon, where you have gods that overthrow other gods and then take their spot. And so whenever, like, for instance, we have Yahweh as the in one scene is pretty much kind of a lesser god, but he overthrows
Elohim.
But well, he overthrows Elohim, but he also overthrows Baal. And when he overthrows Baal, who is the fertility god, what ends up happening is that after he overthrows him, it rains, and so Yahweh gets recognized as the fertility god. So then you have Asherah as both Baal's wife in some stories, but you then have it also as his mother because Baal is the son of Yahweh in certain stories. So you have these different mixes of these different gods that overthrow, and so they all kind of get mushed in together.
No, that is a lie from the pit of hell.
Is it Baal's? I thought Baal was the god of healing, because that's the snake? That's why we have the staff with the two snakes.
It may be.
That's actually from the Greek myth. It's a something. It's actually his symbol was originally just one snake on a staff. Right. He was the son of Apollo, and Zeus got mad at him because he found a cure for death, so he got locked up. And when they took, because it looks better, they use Mercury's catnix. Oh,
but I thought Baal was a snake too, wasn't it? That's why if you look at like the Jewish story of the snake in the garden, that's meant to represent Baal. It's not like if you look at a lot of the Old Testament stories, there's pretty good evidence that it's actually more polytheistic than it is.
Well, no, it is because ancient Judaism was polytheistic. Right. I mean, you can actually research that out. But the thing is with the snake is that the snake is proposed to be so many different things. Of course, you have the fact that the snake is supposed to be Satan, the adversary. But then you also have some that are not.
What the fuck are you people talking about?
Now we're talking about mythology and all that stuff. But then you have certain non-biblical canonical where the snake is actually represented as Lilith, which kind of makes somewhat sense due to the fact that, if you look at a lot of the Renaissance paintings of the time frame of the Renaissance paintings of the Garden of Eden scene, the snake is always represented as a woman. And
because they just hated women then. Let's be honest.
Well, again, and the thing is because Lilith was Adam's first wife, and she was cast out of the Garden of Eden because she wanted to be dominant, and whenever it came to sex, she wanted to be on top, and Adam absolutely did not want that.
Okay, so speaking about being on top,
she was seen as evil.
Speaking about being on top, which Frustrated has never been able to do. Since we've been going on for
I'm a power bottom. Thank you.
Okay, you don't drive any of the power. We've been going on for about an hour or so. We have completely shifted topics, apparently. I have not been involved in the stream at all. I let Russ take over, which is terrifying because he's dumb as shit. Thank you so much for watching and commenting. If I missed any super chats, please send me a DM. I will give you a shout out this time. Next time. I did not notice any of that crap because I was not here. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing and all the other crap. And remember, at the end of the day, all right.